What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I thought I would read one of my stories for ya. I'm trying to find different ways getting the name and stories and all that fun shit out there. So yeah, I thought it would be cool to read you one. Momo's guest appearance. Boop 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 boop. Billy, Billy, Billy. So if you guys have been following my social media stuff for a while, I talk about myths a lot. And it is a local comic book created by good buds that I have had the greatest fortune and honor of writing for. So of course you've got Newt's stories, Mold. And then you've got Richie's, Gatekeeper's Daughter. Super dope. Got Groove and Destruction by John Moser. This piece called Beautiful Sunshine, or just Sunshine. Sunshine. Blissful and Uplifting by Andrew Cohen. And then I've got this one-page story here called Shimmer. So I guess I'm going to read it to you. And see what you guys think. Gabe brought the shovel down hard, sweating under the deep purple sky. 20 minutes of digging caused his knees to crack and his hands to bleed. It was all worth it to hear the thud that echoed across the graveyard. He got down and swept the dirt away. Using the end of the shovel, he pried the coffin open and cried. The stench alone was enough to make him throw up his lunch. Gabe wiped his eyes and took a good look at the corpse. Small pieces of flesh clung to the bones and waved in the wind, welcoming the breath of fresh air. Gabe held the tiny skeleton's hands and whispered, "I'm ready." The sky rippled like the ocean and the stars danced in its waves. Gabe fought the urge to scratch his arms, knowing the itching he felt lied beneath the surface of his skin. A piercing ache in his head made him feel woozy and unbalanced. A small yelp escaped his lips as he glanced down at his arms. They had started to split and bleed, like someone was cutting him repeatedly. Droplets of blood running down his spine and the cold autumn wind against his fresh wounds caused him to shiver. The pain in his head grew, as it felt like it was being split wide open. A glance at a nearby tombstone made him scream as he had realized that's exactly what was happening. The night's purple light reflected off the tombstone, giving off a shimmering effect, like it was underwater. In the shimmer, Gabe saw his grotesque reflection. His head cracked and pieces of flesh and hair hung down the sides of his face. He felt skin smack his lip as if someone took a potato peeler to his face and left it hang there. He blinked blood out of his eyes and cried out as skin stripped itself from his body. Slowly, bit by bit, he felt like the weight of the universe was pushing a massive force onto him, bursting him at every seam, splitting him open and peeling him apart to expose all his lies, all his grief, all his agony. Gabe glanced down at his arms again, expecting to see his bones, but he didn't. Under the torn pieces of his flesh, he noticed new skin growing beneath. The new skin lit up in the moonlight, giving off a blue hue that meshed well with the purple sky and created a violent fog that seemed to radiate around the graveyard. As the last of his old skin fell away, his bright new skin squirmed and stretched like something was trying to force its way out. The skin on the tips of Gabe's fingers opened and wormed its way onto the hands of the skeleton that he was still holding, forming perfectly around the bones. His body convulsed under the pain, the cold wind, feeling like someone had thrown boiling hot water on him. Gabe felt a sharp stab in his temple, and suddenly he couldn't see anymore. His eyes seemed to expand and fuse with his new skin as it melted from his skeleton. A squelching snap rang across the graveyard, carried out by the fog. Gabe's skeleton fell and lied in the moonlight. Small movement, a sickening crack echoing from the grave, a deep intake of breath. A small, glowingly pale hand reached out to a darkening world. The ripples in the purple sky ceased, and Gabe's son was born once more. That was Shimmer by Myths, and if you guys like that, maybe I'll read some of my other ones. Yeah, getting used to reading these out loud is interesting. So, pretty pretty much a way for you, pretty much just want you to read myths. The Omnibus is coming, and I'm sure we'll be doing a review on that, especially on the podcast. Those Not So Super Dudes, look us up, Google us, follow us on all the things. Koi Carnage for my personal Instagram. And that's pretty much it, guys. Peace.